Hello students, this is Puja. Today I have come up with my subject English. So today the first lesson I am going to teach you is sentences. So whenever we bring a new book, whether it can be of class 1 or can be of class 2, the first chapter we notice in that book is sentence. Okay, so human beings, whenever we are born, we just start speaking few words. We cannot speak at the time after birth sentences. Okay, first we start to speak few words, then we assemble those words, we gather those words and we make sentences. Okay, so from my previous explanation, what we can understand, first I will write down some words like good, boy, Ram is a. Okay, so these words together, if we assemble like this, it is not making any sense. Okay, so to give these words sense, what we need to do? We need to arrange these words in a proper sequence. Like okay, so whenever we arrange these mere words in a proper sequence, what we are getting? We are getting this sentence, Ram is a good boy. Okay, so from this example, what we are getting? We are getting the definition of the sentence. Okay, so what will be the definition of the sentence? The sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. Okay, so sentence is basically a group of words which make a complete sense. Then only we can call it a sentences. So sometimes we heard few group of words which make partial sense. Okay, so at the night, in the park and etc. So can we call those as a sentence? No, basically we can't call it a sentence. Okay, so what will be the name for those type of group of words? We can call them phrases. Okay, so phrases. So what are phrases? Phrases are also a group of words which makes partial sense, not complete sense. Okay, so basically sentences are group of words which make complete sense. But in case of phrases, group of words which make partial sense. Okay, so in case of phrases, we can't tell that group of words makes a complete sense. For example, at night. In the park. So here we can understand that at the night, in the park, these words, they are trying to explain something. Okay, like at night, we can understand that something is going to happen at night. Okay, something is going to happen in the park. But basically what? We just don't understand what will happen at night and what will happen in the park. To make these phrases like at night, in the park, we need to add subject. Okay, we need to add some subject or verb. Okay, then only we can make these phrases sentences. Okay, so I hope sentences and phrases, the difference between sentences and phrases are clear to you. Next comes, what are the types of sentences? Okay, so sentences can be classified different according to different types. Basically, through definition, or basically we can classify sentences in 4 types. But if we try to classify sentences according to their structures and clauses, then it will be of 3 types, like simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentences. But for that, first we need to understand what are clause. So we will discuss complex, simple and compound sentences afterwards. So today we will learn only the simple and basic types of sentences. So, how many types of sentences are there? Types of sentences. So, different people will tell different types of sentences. Like few members, they will tell that there are 4 types of sentences. Few members, they will tell that there are 7 types of sentences. So, before, during our childhood, whenever we were small or we used to go to school, that time people will tell that there are 7 types of sentences. But now, in our books, we will find that there are only 4 types of sentences. So, what are those 4 types of sentences? Okay, so I will write down the name. I will write down the names of those types of sentences first. Number 1 is assertive sentences. Assertive sentences. Or assertive sentences can be called as a declarative sentences also. Okay, so another name of assertive sentences is declarative sentences or sentence. Number two is interrogative sentences. Number 2 is interrogative sentences. Number 3, imperative sentences. Okay, assertive sentences or declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences. Number 4, exclamatory sentences. So these are the general or basic types of sentences. Okay. So before moving on to my topic, types of sentences, I would like to discuss few points like, see, sentences are related to our daily or regular life. Whenever we talk to someone, do we speak same type of sentences? No, we don't speak same type of sentences during our speech. Okay, same like that, when sentences are of different types. Sometimes we express our anger, sometimes we give some statements, sometimes we ask for something, sometimes we request, or sometimes we give advice to another person to whom we are talking. Same way, see, sentences are differentiated according to our daily regular speech. So first one is assertive sentences. Now what is this assertive sentences or declarative sentences? Okay, so I hope you have all noted down these 4 types of sentences so that I can erase right now. Okay, because I need to explain this assertive sentence also. Okay, the first one is assertive sentences. So what are assertive sentences? From this word assertive or declarative, what we are understanding that assertive sentences or declarative sentences are those type of sentences which declares something. Like suppose these type of sentences basically give statement. So I have used one example during teaching the definition of sentences. That is, Ram is a good boy. Here in this sentence, Ram is a good boy. What we are doing? We are giving a statement about Ram. Okay. To make you more clear and to clarify this assertive sentence, I would like to write down this example. Okay. So, assertive sentence. Or declarative sentences. So, assertive or declarative sentences are type of sentences which affirms or confirms something or which gives some statement. Like the first example we used is see, I am taking this example because it is a very common example and most of us we use this example and this is a very simple sentence. For that I am using this sentence. Okay, so Ram is a good boy. So here what we are doing? We are giving a statement or a declaration about Ram. Okay, so we are giving a declaration about Ram that Ram is a good boy. Okay, so here we are giving a positive statement and from this sentence we can understand that there is a feeling of positivity in this sentence. So if we don't agree with this sentence, what we will do? We can say that no, Ram is not a good boy. Okay, so we can write this. If we don't agree with this sentence or this statement, we can write this or we can say that no, Ram. Few people they will tell that Ram is a good boy, and others will deny with this statement. So few members they will tell that no, Ram is not a good boy. So what this statement is giving? This statement is giving a positivity about Ram, and this statement is giving a negativity about Ram. So both are starting with subject and both are ending with full stop. But the difference between these two sentences is what? That this is giving a positive vibe and this is giving a negative vibe. Okay. So what it is? This type of sentence we call positive sentence or affirmative sentence. Positive sentence or affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence. And no, Ram is not a good boy. What we can call this type of sentence? From here it is very clear that Ram is not a good boy is giving a negative vibe about Ram. So this type of sentence where no, not is used are known as negative sentence. Clear? So I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay, so assertive sentence or declarative sentences can be further divided into two types of sentences. one is affirmative or positive sentence, another one is negative sentence. Okay, so what we can write down right now, that assertive or declarative sentences can be further divided into two types of sentences. One is affirmative or positive. The other one is negative sentence. Okay, so assertive or declarative sentences can be further divided into affirmative or positive or negative sentences. Okay, so first type is, I hope, clear to all of you. And one thing you should note, that in case of assertive or declarative sentences, the sentences should start with noun or pronoun and should end with a punctuation mark like full stop. Okay, so it should be noted that in case of assertive or declarative sentences, the sentences should start with noun or a pronoun and should end with a full stop. Okay, so we are moving to the next type of sentences, that is interrogative sentences. Okay, so we are moving to the next type of sentences, which was interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences. So, from the word interrogative, what we can understand? From the word interrogative, we can remember and we can relate this word to the word interrogation. Basically, where do we see interrogation? We have seen cops or police to interrogate another person or criminals. Okay, so the word interrogative is related to the word interrogation. So that means through this word, what we can understand, that these type of sentences basically ask questions. Okay, the sentences which basically asks or inquires questions are known as interrogative sentences. So to make these type of sentences more clear to you, I would like to give few examples. Okay, like do you know him? Have you gone to England? How are you? Where do you stay? Okay, so see, I have used here 4 examples to explain you what are interrogative sentences. Okay, so you can see the first example. Do you know him? Have you gone to England? So in these two sentences, you can easily answer by saying yes or no. Okay, do you know him? If you know that person, you can tell that yes, otherwise you can tell no. Okay, have you gone to England? If you ever gone to England, you can tell that yes, I have gone or no. But in this last two sentences, how are you? Where do you stay? You need to answer these two types of sentences in a full sentence. Like, how are you? I am fine. Where do you stay? I stay in Kalyani. Okay. So in these first two sentences, you can answer by saying yes or no. But in case of last two sentences, you can't say yes or no. You need to answer these last two sentences by answering the full sentence. Okay. So these two types of sentences where we can answer the question by saying yes or no, those type of sentences are also known as close-ended sentences or close-ended question. Okay. And these two types of sentences where we need to answer the full sentence, those type of questions can be also called open-ended questions. Okay. So, interrogative sentences are further divided into two type of questions, like close-ended questions and open-ended questions. Okay. So in case of close-ended questions, what we find? We find the question starts with a verb, and that too an auxiliary verb. Okay. So in case of close-ended questions, we find the questions starting with an auxiliary verb, and the verb always sits before the subject. Okay. So the verb always sits before the subject. And in case of open-ended questions, the question starts with a question tag or a question word, that is which, where, how, which, where, how, what, etc. Right? Question words. These are all question words. But in case of close-ended question, it starts with do, have, is, was. So basically these all are verb, and that too an auxiliary verb. Okay. So in case of close-ended questions, it starts with an auxiliary verb. And you should remember that, you should note that in case of interrogative sentences, while you are ending the interrogative sentences, you must write or you must know or put in question mark at the end of the sentences. While completing the sentence, you should write the question mark. Okay. I hope this is interrogative sentences are clear to you. Okay. So next type is imperative sentences. Imperative sentences. So imperative sentences are, while writing, imperative sentences are more or less like writing statement only. But difference is that it expresses command, advice, request or a desire. Okay, the difference between declarative and imperative sentence is what? The difference between them is imperative sentences usually expresses a command, an advice, a desire and a request. Okay, so those type of sentences which expresses command, request and advice and a desire are known as imperative sentences. So to make these imperative sentences more clear to you, I would like to write down few examples. First one, as I have explained you that this type of sentences expresses command. So first one example I will write down is a command. Okay. Keep quiet. Okay, so this is a command. Sometimes in our class, our teachers ask us or orders us to keep quiet. So, what is that? An order or a command. Keep quiet. Number B, we'll write one example which is an advice. Okay. You must exercise regularly you must exercise regularly. So what is this? This is an advice. This is an advice. Next comes third type. Third type is what? A request. Okay. So please give me a glass of water. So what is this? This is a type of request. This please give me a glass of water. The word please refers to request. Okay. Next comes desire. I wish to go abroad. I wish to go abroad. I wish to go to abroad. Okay. So, what this example is stating? This is stating a desire. That here the subject I desires to go to abroad. Okay. So, by giving these examples, I want to make you clear that these type of imperative sentences usually expresses command, advice, request and desire. Okay. And you should note that same like declarative sentences, imperative sentences ends with a full stop. Okay. So, imperative sentences ends with a full stop. So, we are moving to the last type of sentences, that is exclamatory sentences. So, exclamatory sentences is the last type of sentences. Last type, fourth type is exclamatory sentences. So, before explaining exclamatory sentences, I would like to give one example first. Usually we write exclamatory sentences like this. Okay, so example is what a beautiful voice Lata has. Okay, so this sentence, what we are understanding that Lata has a beautiful voice. Okay, so these sentences can also be written as Lata has a beautiful voice. Okay, but when we are writing what a beautiful voice Lata has, we are giving a strong impact to the listener. Whenever the listener is listening this sentence, what a beautiful voice Lata has, he is getting a strong impact about Lata. That Lata is a very beautiful, Lata is having a very beautiful voice. Okay, but if we say that Lata has a beautiful voice, we are not getting that strong impact. Okay, so through this example, what we can understand that exclamatory sentences are those type of sentences which gives a expression of strong and sudden feeling. Okay, which gives an expression of strong and sudden feeling. So in case of exclamatory sentences, what we are doing, we are adding this exclamatory mark and we are rearranging the sentences in a way that it gives the listener a strong impact. Okay, so basically these are the types of sentences which we read before starting any English grammar or before starting parts of speech. Okay, so what are different types of sentences? Basically, according to definition, are normally or generally sentences are of 4 types, that is assertive or declarative, next comes interrogative, next imperative, next exclamatory. Okay, so I hope this lesson is clear to all of you, and if you have any question regarding this lesson or if you have any question regarding this chapter, you can write down in the comment section. Okay, so if you think that this video is giving little bit also benefit to you, you can like my video, please share my video so that it can benefit the other person, and please subscribe my video. Okay, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe my video, and please share the video so that other person who need this video can learn something from this video. Okay, so don't forget to hit the bell icon, because if you don't hit the bell icon, you will not get the notification about my next video. So if you want me to post more videos, please subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you, and if you have any queries, please write down in the comment section so that I can answer your questions in the comment section. Okay, bye.